My name is Nicki. I'm an English makeup artist and I live with Carlo and our daughter Sky in Positano, Italy. Our house is far from the road but surrounded by fruit trees and olive groves, and we grow our own food. We'll show you what it's really like to live on the Amalfi Coast. Subscribe and welcome to the Positano Diaries. I have a friend called Ivan who has a dress shop. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen me dressed in some of his dresses last summer because we did a fun little photo shoot together one day. Ivan has called me this morning and said that he is going down to one of the empty beaches with a bag full of dresses, and would I like to come along and join him and play dress up and take some photos. So that is where I'm headed now. I mean, who could say no? A bag full of designer Positano dresses, an empty beach, and a guy with the camera. You've just got to go, haven't you? It's never a good idea to put a helmet on just before you're about to do a photo shoot, because I will definitely get helmet hair, but can't be helped. There's Ivan and Peppa just parking. There's a few bikes here, so there must be a few people down.
Be careful, Nicki.
Ollie, chi è questo red cat? Chi è?
We're going to move to a different place and do some more photo shoots with some beautiful white linen clothes over the other side where there's a big beach. This is where I stopped with Carlo last time, and Carlo didn't want to go any further, but I knew there was a big beach just over these rocks here. We've got to climb over them, and that's what we're going to go do now. And there we go. It's really not hard to walk around here at all. It's very easy, and you've got this huge beach. How lovely. This is the only access to it. You can't get there any other way. And there are the people whose scooters we saw parked up on the road. Big empty beach, how lovely. I've made some pasta. I have bought a little Tupperware container and I did some of my pasta with lemon, tuna, olives and capers. And I've even brought forks. I've remembered everything, I think. Ivan's been in charge of food and drink. We're now going to have a picnic. And guess who is the idiot that didn't even think about bringing swimwear when she was going to a beach? So I get to sit here fully dressed while they have a quick swim before lunch. I'll get the picnic ready. Bread. Some water. Ooh. Olives and sun-dried tomatoes.
Vuoi fare col registino, Nicki? Mamma mia!
Now this is an interesting structure because this has a wall. and what looks like steps or a little jetty. Maybe once the sea arrived up here. Definitely remains of a little building at one point here. So they've gone for a walk on the beach, they've had a little swim. It's hot out there. I haven't got any sunscreen, I haven't got any swimwear. I've got a nice woolen top on, at least it's got no sleeves, so that's a bonus. But I've got flesh coloured underwear, and there's a big group of boys over there, so I'm not stripping down to my flesh coloured underwear because it will look like I'm naked. And I'm just having to sit here by this big rock in the shade while everybody else goes for a swim and wanders up and down the beach. Who thought it would be this warm in March? I should know that. It has been this warm in March before. Vai.
Beach. Olli, dove vai?
We have finished our photo shoot. It's getting a little bit chilly now and the wind's picking up, so we're going to fold up the clothes, put them back in the bag and start walking back over to the other beach where we will have to climb back up to the road. A few videos back I mentioned that I wanted to start up a new series here. Once a month I want to do a video where I challenge myself to make all of our meals that day and everything we eat from only food that we have grown ourselves or that comes from somewhere around town. So that means nothing that is transported, nothing processed, and nothing from anywhere else. That pretty much excludes flour as well. So it's going to be quite limiting, but I'm pretty sure that we can do it. So to start with, today is not the day. Today it's already 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but yesterday Luca planted onions in the garden and he had quite a lot left, so he's brought them down to his zio Giovanni, and zio Giovanni offered to give us a pumpkin. So I've come down to collect the pumpkin, and then I will take that home, and that'll be one extra thing, and that is going to be part of my plan, is that anything that I can swap food for. So for example, our neighbours who give us olive oil and we give them oranges, so that's one thing that I do have, is olive oil that we can't produce ourselves, and anything else like that that I can get my hands on and swap I will be using as well.
E zio, sei giù? Sì. Veniamo a prendere il nostro regalo. Ok, vabbè, mo vengo.
Zio Giovanni's garden is one of the prettiest in town with the best view, and he's already planted the little onion seedlings that we gave him yesterday. There they are. You always know when Zio Giovanni is home because he always has the radio on really loudly.
Benvenuti a casa di Zio Giovanni. Prego. Ecco Zio Giovanni. Ciao zio!
Ciao, come va Carlo?
Tutto a posto?
Come va? Già abbiamo finito il lavoro?
Sì, ora ce ne andiamo a casa. Stiamo andando a prendere la zucca.
Sì, vai tu come la vuoi, scegli quelle che vuoi. Ci sono la spagnola, la napoletana e quella di Giovanni che è un po' storta come un zucchino grande.
E perché come quella di Zio Giovanni che la fa?
Era una trombetta, zucchino alla trombetta. Poi sono uscite zucche.
Ah, ok. Quindi era una zucchina che diventava una zucca.
Esatto. Però sono 2 anni che li stiamo facendo e non li stiamo continuando.
This is zucchini dried in the sun.
Sì, tutto si fa quello un po' più duro, li mettiamo al sole come se si fanno secchi con il sole e poi si mette, per non mettere sotto olio, sempre sotto olio, e poi si fa una cottura a quel sale e poi si mettono, quando ci sono fatte fredde si mettono, e mandano dei pomaroli, questa manca sta già fatta, no? Poi.
Zio Giovanni has quite a good collection of old doors and he puts them to good use. His little shed here, which is really sweet. The roof is all made of old doors. I just found that. Recycling at its best.
Sì.
Ma tu pensi che lui va in giro a prendere le porte che i gente lo buttano?
No, queste sono le porte vecchie che stavano qua.
Ah, ok.
Sì, no, non andate in giro a prendere le porte vecchie. Quale vuoi prendere?
I don't want one too big. That's probably about the smallest.
Va bene, sì, sono tutti alla fine,
Yeah,
sono solo le
they're all about the
forme.
same. But this is a little bit smaller, I think, so it's pretty heavy. It's definitely something to put in the shop.
Ma la
That's
devo
it.
portare io, tu stai facendo solo la scena adesso.
Ok, let's go.
Ok, io vado di là, tu vai di là
Sì.
e ci incontriamo su.
Ok, ciao ciao.
Ciao.
I'm going in the other direction because Kara's parents live just over here and it would be rude to come this far and not quickly pop in and say hello. Took a little bit longer than what I hoped. Carlo's been hanging around waiting for ages, but he should know by now that once his mother starts chatting, she doesn't stop. So I've been in there listening to her, well, chatting with her, and he's been hanging around at the top of the staircase waiting. Anyway, let's go home with our pumpkin. The self-sufficient day is not actually happening in this video. I am putting it off. I will be starting it soon, but I just want to prepare a few things ahead of time. And I've also got to figure out what exactly I'm gonna do and what my rules are gonna be. Just even thinking about doing this video has made me very much aware of what I'm eating and where my food is coming from. When I decided that I was going to do one video a month where we only eat what we make and produce ourselves and our neighbours and friends, I very, very quickly realised that cuts out pasta, flour, rice, tea, coffee, chocolate, all things like that. So then I had to think, do I want to allow myself one ingredient that I can use? Do I want to use flour? And maybe in the winter months it would be quite helpful, but I think in the summer I can actually get away without using anything. But if I use flour, then there's not really much of a challenge, is there? And then I was thinking, I wonder if anybody makes flour around here. And of course, maybe they did a few hundred years ago, but they don't anymore. So I am just going to prepare myself. And this whole pumpkin thing that we're doing at the moment is part of the preparations, because I'm going to bottle some of that pumpkin and preserve it in olive oil. And to do that, I actually need some olive oil and I don't have any. So now I've got to go up to the shop in Montepetruso to pick up some olive oil. And today I'm going to prepare the pumpkin, which will be used further on in time. Oh God, sometimes I wish I had a car outside the front door. We have got one gas canister left, so Carla has piled up. These are all the used ones, they're all empty and they need to go up to the road as well, except Carla has got a bag back at the moment and cannot handle pushing this up. It's pretty difficult. If you can hear the puppy upstairs, desperate to come and play with Holly, but we're going out, he can play later.
Sei in partenza adesso?
Devo comprare olio perché sto facendo la zucca in barattoli.
Bro.
Ho dimenticato l'olio ieri, così adesso
Non di semi.
salgo. No, olio di oliva, non lo so.
Ah, ci sono due.
Penso di sì.
Non lo so, perché certi mia nuora dice che è meglio non gliene semi che è più leggero, che ne so. Dice che l'olio di oliva li fa più pesare.
Vabbè, vediamo, compro tutti e due.
Bene, ciao.
Ciao! If I spoke to every single neighbour that I saw on the way to the shop, every single person would, without a doubt, give me a slightly different recipe of how to do pumpkin in glass jars. Everybody will have a different tip, tell me to use a different type of oil. So noisy everywhere. Is that better? So I'm going to go with what I think is right. Most of the recipes I've looked at have said to use olive oil. I'm going to use olive oil, but I'm not going to use extra virgin, which might be just a little bit too heavy, as the lady suggested. I'm just going to go with normal olive oil. Ciao.
Ciao, buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
Dove sta,
Sì, hai visto i video?
No.
È uscito una settimana fa.
Sì.
Sì.
Allora
Ciao.
noi vediamo.
So I got 2 bottles of just normal olive oil, and I need to chop this into fine slices, but I'm going to save some of it and I'm going to make something for lunch with it as well. One day I will remember to go out and buy proper knives. Honestly, you'd think after, what is it, 22 years, I would have set myself up with a set of good knives, but no, I still haven't got around to it. I need to get some lids for the jars. We use new lids because then they seal properly.
Questa è la busta chiusa. Tu hai preso i barattoli che sto usando io?
Sì.
Quindi serve contati.
4 per ora. No, perché ho usato la zucca per altre cose, non faccio tutto.
Questo puoi fare anche a meno di lavarli perché sono puliti.
Ok.
Però se li lavi è sempre bene.
Ok. Grazie.
Prego.
Oh, no. Questo è naughty. Bloody puppy killed my skirt. Aha, a rare sighting of Lily and Not My Cat together. So you can tell that they are not the same cat. Lily is much whiter and Ettore is oranger. Although they could be quite easily related. I've just dug out 2 knives from a drawer. They were literally covered in cobwebs. I have no idea if they cut. I'm probably going to end up chopping my hand at some point, but I'm going to clean up this succa and try and slice it into fine slices. This is very time consuming and I can't do it sitting down. For lunch today, I'm making a pumpkin and mozzarella risotto. Not supposed to put mozzarella in a risotto, but I don't care, I'm going to do it. It tastes nicer. So I've just got some risotto rice cooking here with some garlic and a little bit of rosemary and sage thrown in. And this is the pumpkin that I just roasted in the oven, and I'm going to chuck that in a bit. And that's pretty much it. And stick some mozzarella and some Parmesan cheese in. So that's very simple. This is... Oh. This is the pumpkin that is going to be bottled, and this has just been 15 minutes in the oven at 200 degrees. Now I'm going to let that cool for a while. Right, so now I've got my jars, and I'm going to start putting in layers of pumpkin with some rosemary, some garlic, a little bit of chili pepper, and then I'm going to cover each layer with olive oil and then just keep adding it in. It's as easy as that, she says, having never done it before, but hopefully it's as easy as that. And here is my finished product. So a quarter of that pumpkin, that size, only made one jar. So I've still got that to do. I might do something else with that. I might do smaller jars. That probably would have been a good idea, but I just didn't think I was going to get so much in one jar. The most important thing is that all the pumpkin is under the oil. You mustn't have any poking out, because that's how it stays preserved. And that goes for anything, any vegetables or anything that you do under oil. You've got to have it covered in oil all the time.
Close the curtain, brew some herbal tea. Reach out for me, oh, and take my hand and lead, even when I disagree. Rest with me, close the curtain, brew some herbal tea.